Emerald Stair has seen better days. With any luck, the turning of the seasons will favor us. Come back soon.
I don't see what's the problem.
If you can't see it, I doubt I can explain it. They just make me feel uncomfortable.
I'm glad to see revenants working in our fields. I see nothing wrong with it.
What if the body used to be your brother? Your grandfather? You, Adiran, you know what a revenant is, don't you? Your dead friends and family walking around rotting all over your cabbages?
Well, they're more efficient than we are. They don't need to sleep or eat, and it leaves us free to do other things.
Oh, well, fire is much more efficient at harvesting the fields. But we wouldn't want to eat whatever it leaves behind. Every monster we let wander the valley is one more threat to our children, not to mention to our crops.
Nothing. That is my point.
Oh, then you will not mind when the animancers put one in your home. Perhaps you can get one of the animancers to raise up your late wife so she can keep cooking your dinner. At least someone around here seems to have a semblance of common sense.
One moment.
Nothing here. Gods, what do I tell Sylvia? What do I tell the children? It's not bad enough that their mother a little earlier and you'd have beaten the other bandits to my crops. But I guess that's on you, isn't it? I don't know. Are you? I don't judge on first impressions. I couldn't say. Don't steal and then cry about it when people call you a thief. That's what my grandfather always said. He was a simple man. Loved farming, Fior, and pointing out the obvious. Oh, I saw them. Dirty, rotten scavengers. Haven't worked a day in their lives. Not real work, anyway. I went inside just for a moment. The bandits took everything. This was probably her last harvest. There's not a damn thing left to eat. Fior's Grain Commission offered to open their stores, but I'm not lining up to take it. We can fend for ourselves. At least when we don't have freeloaders coming for everything we've got. What? No. We're fine. No smuggling, no dream scourge. What are you implying? Now you're not making sense. If you want something, out with it. No, it's not like that. Gods, don't know who to trust these days. My wife, she's sick. Not a dream troll, just sick. We've known for a while now. But treatment is expensive. There's not enough to go around. I thought if she could eat well for whatever time she had left, she'd be more comfortable. And now, it's gone. There. Are you happy? It's weeping fever. A rose draught would clear her up. But good luck finding any to spare. When they ran away, I saw them following the river north. They're probably hiding up there, waiting to steal from someone else. You come back with my crops, and I'll give you whatever I can. You can't put a price on survival.
Here they come. Well done. Well, that was fun. Come and get me. Here we go!
blowing it up?
You're not still on about that, are you?
What about you? You're the envoy. Of all people, you should know. I was out hunting for spring bears yesterday evening when I saw a group of soldiers in the woods. I didn't linger long. I didn't want them to notice me, but they were adhering. I'm sure of it. I spotted 3. There may have been a 4th, but it was getting dark. I also saw the most unusual woman. She was alone, but I couldn't see her face behind the cowl and mask. An Inquisitor? Here? In Emerald Stair? What did I tell you?
That's bad. Let's give it a rest.
I wouldn't have taken Ludwig for a walk in the woods type, but who knows? One moment.
Word of advice, give a wide berth to the governor's manor. Giatta's about to tear that poor man a new one. One of our animancers. She's bright as a spark, but a mite confrontational. She came storming up the hill with a wheelbarrow full of spoiled crops. Then the shouting started.
Animancers fighting? This I have to see.
This isn't the first time Giatta's put the governor in his place, but it might be the last. Look around. The town's overgrown, the crops are dying. What's not to fight about?
Just take a blessed day look outside. Doesn't take a genius to see this place is rolling downhill.
The governor's manor is on the far side of town. You can't miss it. Just follow the sound of foul language.
I was hoping to learn some local curses.
Looking forward to seeing what it looks like after Monsters fight.
Yeah, I pretty much brought that plague bear down by myself.
Did you? Now, it's a nice day, isn't it?
The Emperor's envoy. Inquisitor Ludwig said you might be heading this way. Captain Alfir of the Steel Garrote. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. Good. Perhaps he will listen to you. I am not fashioned for statecraft. Still, I think the governor is too stubborn to be persuaded even by the Emperor's finest. When diplomacy fails, the Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adirian interests. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Subtle means something different outside of Solus.
Can I interest you in some glaive or better spells, perhaps? All ingredients are full. Welcome to Poria in Velino, the finest legitimate apothecary of Emerald Stair. 5 summers ago, business was thriving. But now charlatans are selling crystals and essence enlargers in the streets. Add rumors of Dream Scourge and everyone is buying from these swindlers. At least you've come in. Oh, I could, easily. But in the long run, where would that get me? I would be no better than them. I used to believe animancers would trust science, but I'm beginning to doubt that. At least I don't have to convince you.
Prices. They do such lovely work here, don't they?
Hang on. I know you from Solace, right?
I'm afraid I don't know who you are. Just as you don't know who I am.
You're blessed a mad. I remember you. I gotcha.
So, we understand each other then. I never thought the world of animancy could be so varied and fascinating. I can make use of so much of this equipment. Yeah, I suppose it's a bit unusual to see one of my people about, but I'm here on important business. If you see anyone else from Sole's Keep, just do me a favor and don't tell them you saw me. Thank you. I wouldn't want my fellow wardens to misunderstand.
But we still don't even know why you're here.
You know what I mean. And Marius, it was good to see you. May you find all you're looking for and more. What I'm doing is best for the Barbrun, even if they don't see it.
Genuine healing crystals, purest in all of Eora. Rejuvenate and revitalize with personal essence.
One moment.
Where do you go after death?
You startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Adiran envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here. The failing crops, the strange beasts, and even the dream scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead.
That's a lot of blame on people who can't defend themselves.
The dead of Fjord expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry. We cannot take that chance. There are angry spirits and you know the problems we face. I believe the two are related. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone. They bring the fruit to those who cannot eat. What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
I did, yes. With things the way they are, there was no other way to get what I need for the ritual. If I didn't think this was important, I wouldn't have taken the food. But this ritual is the key to everything. I know Elena would understand how important it is to pay tribute to the dead. But this does help the living. By appeasing the dead, we end the dangers their anger caused. The crops will grow again. The dream scourge will end. All will be well once more. Do it for whatever reason you like, as long as it gets done. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast. Loggers from the old days, they sacrificed themselves to make the land habitable and lost their lives to creatures of the untamed forest. The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp, far to the west from here. They buried the bodies of settlers there, intrepid sorts that tried to tame the farther reaches of Emerald Stairs wilds. The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Fjord, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wilds. I understand how it looks, but appeasing the dead is vital, especially in times like these. I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady. Please, return when the rituals are complete.
It's okay, we'll try again. But it's the third time. You know how it is. Their standards are impossible. It isn't personal.
Of course it's personal. It's the Animonsters workshop. Interesting choice of words. Fooling about.
Maybe we need some feedback on our proposal.
Using essence to cure male flaccidity is uncharted territory. I'm sure of our thesis.
It is times like these that we need such trivial things the most.
We treat this important issue with the utmost respect, even down to the proposal's title.
What do you think of this? Boning without bones, essence and the performativity of male anatomy.
Consider this. From stick to stone, using essence to augment male performance. That's brilliant, huh? Simply brilliant.
We've done it again.
Wait until they read this. The days of packing rope are at an end.
Your soul back like an old teacup.
And all godlike. I've heard whispers that one of your kind was here in the living lands. It is a pleasure to meet you. In case it wasn't clear, I'm the point of contact for anyone with bounties to turn in. So return to me if you have any to claim. Aurat Augori. I hope to see you soon. Oh, those poor souls. Please bring them peace, Saimiko. Becoming part of a blight is not a fate I would wish upon my worst enemy. Oh, the Trentons. A bunch of butsos, if you ask me. But they are dangerous, I'll admit. Watch yourself out there. Be careful with old Nuna. I have a theory that her longevity and hardiness are due to an inordinate suffusion of essence. Ah, those Delamgan. They're not evil, it is just in their nature to push back against the expansion of civilization. Still, survival of the fittest and all that, ne?
Giata's causing trouble at the governor's mansion again.
You must admit she has a point. We should do something about the Green Scourge. Not simply wait for it to pass.
Be careful with that kind of talk. The governor has ears all over town.
refreshment? If you are looking for sanctuary, you have found it. The Gifted Magpie is a house of calm, rational discussion. We have only 2 rules of conduct. Maintain dignity and speak in a soft tone of voice. Cloves, cinnamon, and anise are just a few of the remedies that help foster a peaceful environment. Animancers are miracle workers, but their work breeds obsession, rivalry, and bitter disagreement. Consider the Dream Scourge. One crisis, many ways to manage it, all of them frustrating in their contradictions. This tea house is where troubled minds come to approach problems from a quieter angle. Regrettably, we are out of tea. My stockpile is exhausted, and the harvest has not kept up with demand. We have other goods for sale, if you care to peruse them. Trinkets I have collected over the years. The fields have been unproductive of late, and what grows has not risen to our standard. I am hopeful that this is a temporary setback and not a sign of things to come. What? I mean, I'm sorry. What? Could you possibly elaborate? Oh no, I mean, oh yes? It's just that these sorts of things happen to other people, but never me. I wouldn't even know where to start. I was afraid you were going to say that. It seems I need to gather my wits and figure out what to do next. I have no skill with romance, you see. Oh dear. Believe it or not, this building was once my father's grain warehouse. One day, a magpie landed on the rafters and spoke fluent Valian to anyone who would listen. I know many good folk around town who would swear otherwise. Helia is the goddess of birds and creativity. Yes, the spiritual significance of a talking magpie is debatable. But the tale inspired others to make this a haven of creativity. And so, here we are. Who knows? Either it flew away on bad business, or it was just a metaphor to begin with. A good story knows where to end itself. The bad ones all end in grief.
Not sure these walls are keeping much out.
Spirits are truly wonderful, powerful, self-aware, and rich with insight.
Insight, you say?
Indeed. The spirits have access to lifetimes of knowledge.
A little knowledge would do me good right about now. The pity I must wait. Until I'm dead.
Come on. My invention is guaranteed. A moment of your time, my friend. Tell me, what do you know about your soul? Wrong. Your soul is an ancient, wondrous thing, suffused with lifetimes of rich, delicious memory. But it's tired, my friend, heavy with the burden of generations and too weak to survive another turning of the wheel. That's the beauty of it. The first treatments on the house. The moment you entered the city, I calibrated my invention to the highest setting and attuned it to your soul. So tell me, how do you feel? Better already, huh? Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. From this day forward, your life will be one of bliss and satisfaction. Do remember to tell your friends about all the benefits of animancy. Enjoy your soul.
You have a thing for sticking your head in the bear's mouth, don't you?
What's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald State.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it. We are discussing it now.
Careful! We'll get thrown out of the bomb!
We're all...
I had one job, but I couldn't even do that. Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been? Not everyone has the ranger captain breathing down their neck. I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate. I'd like to be. They're out searching. Someone had to hold down the fort. My two youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here. Three times this month. They're going to be the death of me. They're besotted. I can't get them to think about anything else. Belena and Adelaro were my most promising recruits. Now, all they do is sneak off to... That's a delicate way to put it.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back.
Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and Malena's father and I were comrades in arms years ago. When she enlisted, I swore I'd try to keep her safe. That was all. I couldn't even do that. God's sakes. They're not deer. They're just a pair of lovesick fools. The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
2 young Nimdutin wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Maybe we don't look too soon. Give them a wife. Know what I mean?
Voglio e drinko. Well, I'll be a godlike in the bone and bore. Apologies for the ruckus outside. The animancers never know when to shut their mouths. Our crop yield. The governor thinks we just had a bad season, but the Quilici and the Giata figure differently. They are the only animancers taking the Dream Scourge seriously. You see this pub? No one here is an animancer. We are Fiore's labor. Rangers, farmers, and the sentries. We've all heard the rumors from outside. Animals gone mad, terror stalking the wilderness day and night. True, but now they do so without fear. And that's not even our biggest problem. We've had crops fail before, but never food rations. The governor says it's just a temporary precaution, but I am not buying it. So, we ought to drink while we can. Agreed? Anything I can get you? Welcome back, envoy.
The crops ruined. All.
Can anything be done?
How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? My reputation precedes me.
It was more the sound of your voice that preceded you.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure he didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms.
There may still be time to reverse the damage.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
As usual, Giatta never misses a chance to slander me. Don't ignore her concerns, only her methods.
And you still do nothing. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Once again, bureaucracy stands in the way of getting things done.
I'm just trying to stop Giatta from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. It's nothing. Our governor is backed into a corner and lashing out. I almost respect him for it. Buy me a drink sometime, and I'll tell you all about my family's basement. All of the above. I have a lot of forgetting to do. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Giatta.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giatta Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Whoa, you're banishing her for that?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giatta is an outcast.
Governor, this is unacceptable. Your father would have kept this community together at any cost.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
Another mouthful to feed. Maybe we'll need to let Kai hunt more after all.
Wake up your soul with a morning crystal. Sleep.
That did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giata, some manners, if you please.
Why start now?
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. What does he know? He isn't even an animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. Most of us would be better off without tyrannical bureaucrats. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want. On my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. Likewise, they should be educational for us both. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Sorry. I only bring it up because Anamancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... I don't even know. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave Fior Messiverno. Forever.
Some people don't find out who they really are until they leave home.
You'll be all right. My advice, find a good tavern and learn how to prepare a squirrel over an open flame.
Maybe if I focus on what I have gained, I can learn to accept everything I've lost. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. I hope so, because we're running out of options. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name, and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. I'd rather you find that out for yourself. Whatever it is, I won't be disappointed. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Darkline. Imperial Envoy. Research assistant. Who knew?
You ever think, what if I wasn't a ranger?
Of course. What would you do?